Everyone has a loyalty program. Your airline, your coffee shop, your pharmacy, your grocery store. But here's the thing. Most of us are only truly loyal to a handful of brands. So what actually makes the difference? Today I'm in Toronto sitting down with Noah Goldberg. He's the VP and GM of Digital Loyalty at Loblaw Companies, the people behind PC Optimum, Canada's largest loyalty program with nearly 16 million members. We'll talk about what loyalty really means, why personalization at scale is harder than it sounds, and why sometimes the best strategy is giving people something they actually want. Here's Paula Macaggi, and this is episode 112 of my show. Welcome to OFFBounds. Noah, welcome to OFFBounds. I'm so happy to be in Toronto with you.
Welcome to Toronto. Welcome back to Toronto. I'm really excited to be here as well. I remember listening to the podcast you did with Lauren, our fearless leader. And then when you reached out, it was like, no brainer. So I'm really excited to be here.
Yeah, so when Lauren came to the podcast, that was such an interesting episode. And she touched a little bit on loyalty, on how you reward for engagement. I found this so interesting, but we never got deep into it, which that's why this episode is here. What is your role?
I am the Vice President and GM of Digital Loyalty for PC Optimum. So PC Optimum is Canada's biggest loyalty program. Not just biggest, I like to say best. Most Canadians agree. The way to think about the size of our program is every Canadian adult. We have 16 million members, so we touch the lives of most Canadians.
Just so, if some people haven't listened to Lauren's episode, could you give us an idea of how big Loblaw is in the
Absolutely.
country?
So Loblaw's is Canada's biggest retailer. We have over 2,500 stores across the country, spanning across grocery, pharmacy, and apparel. We have a bunch of ancillaries, which loyalty is probably the biggest and best, but I'll say that because I'm biased. We have a saying at Loblaw is to live, we help Canadians live life well. And it's really true. We really touch the lives of Canadians. We are there for all of their needs. We feed them. We take care of them when they're sick. We help them manage their money. We help them save through loyalty.
And it's one loyalty program that reaches all different parts of Loblaw's businesses.
That is correct. So all of those verticals that I mentioned, our loyalty program applies to every single one of them.
That sounds like something that there's a lot of opportunities of gaining points.
Yes, there is. And, it's really cool if you, obviously owning the app, we've built some things around your total lifetime points, and to, use that as a bragging right is actually pretty cool. There are definitely ways to earn a good amount of points. Engaging digitally is job number one. We make sure that Canadians, when they shop at our pharmacies, earn base points. But we also make sure that when they shop groceries, that on their everyday items, they're earning points, right? So, if you engage with us digitally, Paula, if you buy milk, cucumbers, and yogurt every week, we're going to make sure that you are earning points on, if not one, all of those.
Amazing.
Yeah.
But that sounds even more complex to understand your role, because it's almost like you're sitting on data science, marketing, customer experience. What is your day to day?
Yeah. So loyalty is, what I like to say about loyalty within our company, it's the red thread that joins everything. And so when you think about my role running and owning our digital product, that's just the digital product. There is a program that has to be run. And to run that program, there are so many different parts of it. So from partnerships to the engines that power the offers to the software that drives all of the points that our customers get to see, so on and so forth. It's interesting what I always remind people about loyalty, especially with our company, is that you don't realize how complex and big it is until you're in it. And our new leader of loyalty, he just joined a few months ago. He's been at the company for a while. And we just had a town hall where he came, it was like his first week on. And he came to this town hall, and there are hundreds of people that support loyalty. You just wouldn't know it because they span from all different parts of our enterprise, which is quite matrixed, as most enterprises are. But it definitely, when it comes to running a loyalty program of our scale and ensuring Canadians get the points that they need, it takes a village, as they say.
Yeah, it sounds very complex to me. I mean, we don't feel it when we're consumers because it sounds
That's the goal.
Yeah, and that's the goal, right? Like it's so intuitive, but for that to happen, you need a lot of people and a lot of systems in place.
Definitely. There are many different types of systems and engines that power our loyalty program, whether you're shopping in store or online, in order to make sure that you are, one, seeing the points you deserve to get, and then are awarded the points that you do get, and just as importantly, the ability to redeem those points when you'd like to as well.
Yeah. And there's another thing that I would love to ask, because kind of like every area of the company kind of needs you. How it's because I see like you have your area could be responsible for the customer data and the way they engage with the brand and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of the use cases for first party data that we always talk about in every interview that I have with grocers is the retail media opportunity.
Absolutely.
How is your relationship with retail media at Loblaws?
Well, we have a great relationship with retail media arm, which is called Advance. That's actually also under Lauren's org. So, we're part of it's all one big family, but we're part of like the closer family, I'd say. We definitely make sure that we are supporting our retail media business. We power a loyalty app that millions of Canadians open every week. And the eyeballs that are brands or vendors that are going to buy those ads they're going to see it. And we've gotten really creative with it, where it's, you see your typical interstitial when you open an app. A lot of apps are doing that, but we've gotten more creative. Like one thing that I really got right into when I first joined loyalty was gamification. And it's been a journey on how we've evolved games within loyalty, but it's to the point where like we build games that are sponsored by vendors. And that's just one way we power retail media, but what it's sitting on is, all of our customer data, which we have a lot of transactional data that we know we could get the right ads in front of the right people, right? We're not just, because we also want to make sure we're doing right by Canadians, our customers. We don't want to show them ads that are relevant to them. We want to show them ads that are relevant, timely, and obviously tasteful.
Amazing. And but I think every brand has a loyalty program nowadays. It's just like, to how many brands can I be loyal? And I also feel that a lot of brands consider they run their loyalty program just because they have your email or you sign up for a fair discount years ago, but it never really came back.
Right.
Which for me doesn't sound like loyalty.
Agreed. Yes, there are a lot of loyalty programs, and it's so easy for any retailer, big or small, to start a loyalty program, where it's as simple as like sign up for our newsletter and, we'll give you X% off, right? That's the simplest form of loyalty today, right? So anyone can typically start a loyalty program. We're different, right? I mean, we offer value back through our points currency for your everyday needs, right? So, to answer your question.
So that's an advantage too. You are in grocery, pharmacy, like things that you need to on a daily basis, right?
Correct. And, I always remind my team, you shouldn't take that lightly. It's not to get you get a big head of how big of a program you are, because we don't. We're quite humble about it. But it's more, we're making sure that we are providing value for the basic needs of humans, right? If you think about it, food, shelter, clothing, that's two of those for us. And the ability to provide value back when Canadians need those things, it's a bit of an honor. And I always remind my team of that.
Yeah. And how does it work? Like, what is the flywheel of that works in the loyalty program? How do I get my points and how do I redeem them?
Great question. So, you earn your points by shopping, right?
Okay.
One thing that we do, and I'll give you a story about it. I always tell a story, is In order to get the most value is we always say you got to open the app, right? When you open your app, you view your offers and your offers have then loaded to your wallet. Therefore, so if you see your points on milk or you see spend X dollars on grocery and get Y points, those are now loaded. And if you take those actions, you're awarding those points. And one thing that we're always trying to remind our, Canadians, our customers, is that if you don't load your offers, you don't get as many points as you think you are. And there's a story I always tell people. So everyone knows like your mobile wallet's like this, right?
Yeah.
So one thing, the way our program works is that if you were just to scan this, that's not loading your offers, right? You actually have to open our app, and once you've opened your app, you've loaded your offers for the week, and then you could scan anything you want. So it was like a year ago, I remember it was during the holidays, and we were having friends over, and a friend was bragging how she's like, I use the PC Optimum program all the time. I was like, oh, so show me. And she just takes out her mobile wallet and scans. I'm like, you're not doing it right. And I showed her just open the app and then start scanning it. A month later, she comes back. She's like, I can't believe I didn't know this. I just earned 30,000 points on my last shop because I started doing this. But you also have to be mindful of the amount of points you issue, right? It is a currency, so you want to create that balance. But it is something that we, since we've made digital engagement a top priority, like since I've come into the role, getting customers to engage with us digitally has been job number one. So that comprehension has been top of mind, and we've made a lot of headway on it.
And this gamification part that you said, like even the sponsors can buy the games, is that part of the engagement that we're
100%. Our app does a few great things really well. And the first is like the couponing of it, the offers of it. We do a great job of it. We make sure that customers can open the app and see the offers that they are eligible to get every week. So check that box. And over the last couple of years, we've said okay, but what else can you do to drive engagement, to get people to open the app and understand what's in there? And there's two features that I would mention. One is gamification, which at first it was spin the wheel, you literally open up, tap the wheel, spin the wheel, and you win a prize. And that prize is in the form of whether it be an offer, a free product, dollars off a product, points when you buy a product. You get where I'm going. And we've added a few more games since then. We're going to be launching some really cool stuff around games coming very soon. Can't really talk about it yet.
We'll have to do another episode.
Yeah, we'll have to do a follow-up episode when it does come out. Depending on when this airs, I'm assuming it'll be out by then. But it's definitely evolved. And it started from a loyalty, so PC Optimum sponsor game, where now the likes of brand ABC will sponsor a game if they want to highlight, let's say, a new product that they're launching, or they just want to bring their brand more in front of more eyes, they'll do that. But outside of that, it's become fun. There's been a viralness to it. People come back to the app to just play their games.
I think it might be a word of mouth too. How many points did you get in the game?
That's right. I think that's what we're striving for, right? I always say we want to balance. We don't want to be the New York Times. We're not going to be Wordle and all those games, but we want to be somewhere in between that. And I think we've done a great job of getting there. And the other feature, and I think Lauren mentioned it, was our list feature. So initially we built the shopping list that we had in our app was, it was really just type only. You can make mistakes and there was no check off or whatnot. So we built a list that not only do you not have to just type everything, but you could search it, add it to your list, and we built a swap feature. The first swap feature was to save money, right? So you hit a button and it gave you a few different options on what you could save money on. And then fast forward a few months, tariffs came in and we did a swap Canadian, and that just took off.
I remember that.
Yeah, it was, I remember when we did it, it was really when we all just, when tariffs were front and center, it just felt it had the COVID vibes where it was like, okay, we got to build things. We got to be there for Canadians right now. And I remember I, sat down with my team. It was Monday morning and I was like, clear calendars. We're building this and we're launching it this week. No questions asked. And it was a lot of fun. But that in itself had a bit of a viralness to it as well. We still talk about it. Canadians still use it.
And it gives I think also not only for consumers the patriot feeling of being Canadian, but also for you, you and your team, I think. How did it feel creating this feature?
Well, it's like features like that, but other features as well. Like for example, I mentioned the mobile wallet. We built a feature around that mobile wallet where it actually reminded you to load your offers and open your app. And features like that and swap and save, swap Canadian. It's just really cool to build a product that works, right? Because you're not going to get it right. Like working in digital and, at the amount of things that we build at Loblaw Digital, you're going to get it wrong. And it's okay to get it wrong. It's very rare to bat 1,000. It's actually impossible to bat 1,000.
But it's very nice also that you have such a huge number of users. You can get the feedback right away when you launch a feature, right?
You got it. That's right.
This doesn't work.
That's right. That's right. And we're ruthless in our testing. We test responsibly. We launch responsibly. We even our app releases are done responsibly. We don't just throw them out to millions of Canadians right away. But back to the point of launching products that work. Yeah, it's fun, and to impact that many Canadians is it's humbling.
Yeah, and you're sitting on so much data, and I think you can see so many things live. Have you seen consumer behavior? Of course, the tariffs are a big one, but a consumer behavior that changed, I don't know, with another trend or something else that happened culturally.
The tariffs were definitely something that Canadians wanted to buy Canadian. I wouldn't say in terms of transactional data, we're not looking at transactional data like that.
I know, but maybe before a hockey game, there's a huge amount of beer that people order.
Sure, yeah, maybe. You know what? I'm sure for the gold medal game, there was definitely, whether it's beer or some. I mean, it was at 8 a.m, so maybe people strayed a little more towards scrambled eggs and bacon, but. Yeah, it wasn't barbecuing like that. But no, we don't really track trends in buying. It's more trends in spend. And we want to make sure that as the makeup of your basket changes, it's how do we get you the offers that will resonate the most with you, right?
Got it.
And it's not just about spending. It's not about spending more. It's about making sure you come back too, right? There's a full dinner plate to fill, and we want to fill that full plate. Not every one of our customers fills their full plate with us, and we leverage our loyalty program in order to get as much of that plate as possible.
Of course. And how does personalization works? And is AI changing anything in that front for you?
AI is changing everything for everyone. I would say for us, we're quite mature in the way we target our offers. And we're pretty hard on ourselves. We know that in some ways, we are best in class, but we know in some ways there's a lot of work that needs to be done. And where there's work to need to be done, I think that's where we're looking at AI to help make those decisions. I think that where AI is going to change loyalty isn't actually on the business side, but on the consumer side. As agentic commerce makes its way more and more into our everyday lives, I think it's going to be a foregone conclusion that you say, not just build my grocery basket and have it shipped to me, but build my grocery basket, make sure that I'm getting the most points possible.
That's such a good point.
Right? I think that's where the conversational or agentic commerce is going to come in, where it is do you want to earn these points? Do you want, so should I redeem you have, 1 million points. Should I redeem 100,000 points on this order? I think that's where loyalty is going to see a change in terms of, in the way you run a program. I mean, it's no different than the way you would ask anyone that runs a business, how is AI going to shape and change the way they run it? Every aspect of what you do, AI is going to change.
Where do you see the future of loyalty in general coming?
I mean, I don't see what's great about our program specifically is I don't see it going anywhere. It's become rooted in within Canadian culture. Everybody knows who it is. Like I said, every Canadian adult is a member.
We just have to make sure that the future adults are also gonna
agree.
have
And
that.
it's that's one thing we're starting to think about as well is we're always trying to get new members, right? But when you have every Canadian adult, there's only so many new members you could get because we have age restrictions on our program. But I do think the same way that retail will change as different generations shop it, loyalty in itself will change as well. But I still do believe that the idea of just earning points for the things you want to buy or the things you need to buy and being able to redeem them, I think that will always stay. Call me a traditionalist, or maybe I'm aging myself. I don't know, Paula, but I think it's one of the reasons I actually joined Loblaw was the loyalty program. The amount of customer data, the amount of impact we make on Canadians is amazing. And there's a pureness to it, right? It is, I buy and I earn points, and when I have enough points, I could use those points to save some money. And that is the vicious cycle of loyalty.
Yeah, there is one specific luxury grocer in California who has a membership.
Right.
But then because you are a member and you pay X amount a year, you have a different store journey.
Right.
I find it interesting. I think it works for this specific market, which is luxury already.
Yeah, I'd say for certain niches and maybe different demographics, it might work. But we cater to all Canadians, all shapes and sizes.
And how many people you have in your team?
My team, so my direct team consists of roughly, hardline, I'd say about 30 people. But because the digital is so big, there's over 100 people that power our digital experience, if not more. I shape the strategy for all those 100 people, and obviously, not directly responsible, but directly for some and indirectly for all of them.
I remember you told me you never know what takes you someone to leave the bed to go to work.
Yeah.
What did you mean?
It's advice that I got from a mentor a long time ago. And it's just one of those things that has always stuck with me when it comes to leadership. And I had asked him because it was early in my career and it was the first time I was actually hiring people and leading a team. And that was the one piece of advice he gave me was, like you said, you never know what it takes for someone to get out of bed every day. And it just stuck with me, right? Is that, people come to work and you have no idea what happened before they got to work and you have no idea what they're going to after work. So just be kind. Lead with empathy. Make sure everyone loves what they do. Because you spend so much time at work. And I am a big believer, you got to make it fun. You got to have fun. If it's not fun, what are you doing it for? What are we doing it for?
You're spending 8 hours there.
Right? Your colleagues become,
you see them more than your family.
Yeah, they become your family.
Yeah.
And when it comes to leadership, I take that seriously. When we were talking, earlier, my job is people, right? Yes, there is a strategic part to my job, and that is a big part of it. But there's days where my job is just making sure people are able to do the job that they need to do and are happy doing it.
What are the profile of the people that you like to hire for your teams?
Oh, great question. I'm going to say smart, but what I always remind my team, you can't really work at Loblaw and not be smart. That's kind of a table stakes.
So you say that to everybody hey, you're smart, let's go.
Yeah, exactly, right? You got the job. I don't want people to take themselves seriously. I think that's the one thing I look for. I want to make sure that they're passionate about their craft and their job, as am I. I love my job. I'm grateful to get to be part of the loyalty program, or run the program that I do. But I also know that you know, I always tell my team the non-negotiables like are, family first, health first, to understand like those things matter more than anything else. And I want to make sure that people on my team aren't just like that because I say so, that they actually operate that way.
Very good. And how much time do you spend between the strategic and decision making and coaching people and leading them?
It really
percentage
depends.
Wise.
Yeah, look. It depends on the day, time of year. 80-20, I guess you could say, on any given day. There's always a strategic conversation or conversations happening every day. And there's always someone to be coached every day, and it's either when there's folks that ask for the coaching, but I take it upon myself to coach when even they aren't asking. It's important.
It's you important have to make for everybody's growth. Yeah.
That's right. And I think one of the more important parts of leadership is coaching, but being discreet about it, in the sense that like, don't make it obvious that you're coaching someone, right? But just make sure that, you're making an impact or guiding them in a way that grows them.
And we are in a very interesting time because of AI and how we approach work. It's transforming everybody's life, as you said. There are many people leaving college now, not knowing how their job are going to be. We don't know how our jobs are going to be within a few years, right? Yeah. What would be your advice to someone that wants to work in retail and is leaving college now?
Honestly, learn AI. Learn how to use all these different tools and become, as I'll quote unquote expert at them, right? It's funny, a old colleague connected me with someone exactly like that. Someone who was graduating, was interested in retail and just wanted to pick my brain. And that was my advice. I was like, learn the tools that will have you deliver a skill set that a lot of folks in retail don't have right now, right? I take it upon myself to learn how these tools work and how they can make, how they could allow me to work smarter, not harder.
But you still don't have the time and
correct, right?
Yeah,
so and like, because
you still have other problems to solve,
right? Yeah. And all like those 100 people and like the hundreds more that have their day in day out job. It's really hard to just like on a dime start using all these different
you can't just vibe code a solution.
You're right. That's right. And honestly, like even like vibe coding is something that like, it takes time to learn. Like, when I built an app in Replit, I remember like I thought it was going to be easy, but like it becomes a skill set. And so like my advice to folks is learn these tools, become really good at using them so that you could walk in the door and be like, actually, I know how to use this tool really well and I could save you a bunch of time doing it.
Yeah, I can say that. And what bagel is better, Montreal or New York?
100% Montreal. I'm from Montreal, but I've had both, and I'm still going to say Montreal. Yes.
Well, that's unfair. I'm asking in Canada.
You are.
Right. I love Montreal's bagel, let's be clear, but I think they're both great.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for coming to the studio, for sharing everything, and I can't wait to see the next release that will you tell our audience?
I will I'll definitely tell you. I'll give you a heads up and you could let your audience know. How about that?
Absolutely, I'll do that. Yeah.
Paula, it was a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you.